well, welcome to Chop It Up 4. And I'm almost afraid to ask. I'm almost afraid to say anything because I don't know if we got the Undertaker's black cousin on the show or what.
Just let,
But
just let
my
it.
name is Kevin, and I'm going to get out the way of this because this is the Chop It Up
God.
podcast. Fellas, introduce yourself.
Darian Lewis, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Glad to be here. Can't wait to hear this.
Tari Watkins, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I'm here so we all can have a moment of silence. And I regret to inform a lot of you that we have said goodbye to somebody that's been important for a lot of you all. For some of you, it's hard to see him go. He's been around for a long time. So if we can all just bow our heads and have a moment of silence for Mr. Thomas Brady, because he is no longer with us as far as the postseason. Yes, he has had a good life and a good run, but he has been vanquished. He's been exiled. He's been excommunicated from these 2023 playoffs. So if we all could have a moment of silence in remembrance of him. But let's not forget also the many fans out there that supported another team that thought they had it in the bag. They just didn't have enough power to get through the game. They ran out of juice. Their charging cable couldn't charge anymore. So let's bow our heads for a moment of silence for the Los Angeles non-Chargers for not being able to outlast their opponent.
Mm. Amen.
Amen on that.
Amen.
Amen. But in that same vein, guys, I didn't tell you all before this, but I got a new job.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You got a new,
I got a new
What's,
job.
what's that new job, bro?
I've been hired as a kicker for the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, bro.
Because they was taking applications like immediately.
One job. Now, I'll say this. Homeboy for the year has been money.
Mhm.
29 for 32 in field goals. He's missed 3. 9-11 for 50 plus. 50 and 53 for point after attempts. The dude's money. He's one of the best kickers in the league. He's 90.6%. But
Last night,
I just knew for sure that I was
3 in a row.
as a cap.
One
4.
game. 4?
Four.
Was it 4 in a row?
he
No,
missed total
4.
4.
Oh,
He
he
missed
missed
total
4.
4.
He hit
But he
the
had 3 in a
fifth
row.
one. No, he hit the 5th one. He missed 4 in a row. Trust me, I'm a Cowboy fan. I watched the game. He missed 4 in a row and then made the very last one. He saw one go through the upright at least, but good grief. No, they're not looking for another kicker. Not this late in the postseason. They're not. He's been money all season. Now if he has the yips like Duval did back in that British Open, he just couldn't hit it straight. I don't know. But you're not bringing in a kicker this late in the season. You know?
Oh, no.
Here's the thing though. I don't know because I did catch the one that he got through, and
That's
I don't know
his
if you
very
saw,
last one.
but I don't know if you saw the look on his face, like
He was like,
I get to keep my job.
yeah, 4 in a row.
Yeah, 4 in a row.
Did you see Dax Prescott? He says, "Effing go for 2." Dude, he was hey, the dude was playing out of his mind. I would have been the same way too.
Yeah.
We all seen where 3 points defines a game. Ask the Chargers. They missed a field goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
They lost by how many points?
Yes.
I'm sitting there going, this is going to be it. This is it. I'm a doubt. The Cowboys do what the Cowboys do. Dak is playing out of his mind. And homeboy is shaking point after attempt. Check his phone.
Check his phone records. Vegas man got to him. Listen.
The over was 45 and a half. Guess how many points were scored? 45.
What?
Yeah. Wow.
See, the
45.
problem is in a row.
45. He missed 4 in a row,
Man, the
bro.
problem is in a row.
The first 2, shank to the right. The other one, he overcompensated, shank to the left. The other one, it hit the top of the upright and missed. The top. You're not accurate, badly accurate. You have to be to do that. You know how terribly accurate you have to be to do that.
That is one in a gazillion.
Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't even be happy until the end of the game. Well, it was about with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Then I was happy because I'm like, Tom Brady's going to lose his mind. He's going to back start throwing 9,000 passes. I mean, he threw for 60, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was yeah. There's no way. There's no way they can't get a kicker to slate in a game. When somebody's been that good, it's just it got in his head. After that second one he missed it was in his head, bro.
Something was in his head.
That Vegas phone call was in his head, probably.
Definitely.
Or said he had sorry kid that he had to put more effort into missing. Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
scary.
is Tom Brady actually done with his career?
He's not done.
I wish he was.
I've been saying yes for the past 4 years, so I need to go the other way now. Just say no.
You did say that kind of fast.
Yeah.
And I got to go the other way.
So how long has he been with Tampa?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years. See, here's the, and I was thinking about this earlier. Here's the problem with, and we've talked about this. This is the problem with elite level athletes. The elite of the elites don't know how to stop. They have to be made to stop. You know, they literally have to be pulled aside and say, "Hey, man, listen, we want you to go out as the great that you are. All right, so let's do something different here, because other than that, you're gonna force our hand,
Right.
you know, and it's gonna look bad if you all of a sudden you cut or you second string or, you know what I'm saying? Just let's just not do that." So
right. And here's the thing: the team is not that much different from last year. Now they've had some key injuries, just like most of the NFL has. Dallas had some key injuries on the offensive line, but the way the Bucks played this year, same offensive coordinator, the same offensive coordinator that had them number 2 in the league as far as offense last year. So he never changed. The head coach changed. Different coach. Gronk isn't there anymore, which is a security blanket. But the rest of it's pretty much the same. And it's gone down. I'm just saying. He doesn't look at it as himself as the problem. I guarantee you. Because now they're talking about firing Byron Leftwich.
Oh, no, they're not talking about. They did.
Oh, did they do it?
I thought I saw that they fired him. I think I saw that earlier today.
The last thing I saw was that they were contemplating it.
what?
And he had the number 2.
I could be wrong.
Last year.
Man, talk about no loyalty.
It's expected to be. So he's expected to be fired.
Yeah, expected.
Okay.
Which,
check that out.
It's not his problem. I mean, he's not the issue.
No.
I mean, you're singing his praises last year. Probably going to be, you say, oh, he should be one of the ones up for coaching. He's done a phenomenal job with this offense. Now, fired?
Hey,
No.
it's
what have you done for me lately, league?
Right, it's a fickle industry.
But listen, if you're not firing the coach for sending for the Chargers, I don't want to hear anybody being fired right now.
Who got fired from them?
Nobody got fired from them, as far as I know.
Yeah, they did. Somebody got fired from the Chargers. Yeah. Hold on.
Listen, either throw out the whole staff or keep them, because that was just a meltdown.
He said
that was a meltdown.
Nothing. Yeah, the boat is sinking.
Let's see. Yeah, Chargers make major changes to coaching staff after shocking playoff loss. Where is it at? Staley's still there.
Man.
But they fired, was it the defensive coordinator? Or hold on, where is it at?
Offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Joe Lombardi. Yep.
That's who it was, yes.
And the passing game coordinator.
Well, here's the thing, man. They needed to score 1 touchdown to win that game. They scored 3 points in the second half. And here's the thing. The defense did what they were supposed to a couple times because they stopped Jacksonville. And if you get 5 turnovers, you should never lose that game. Never. 5 in the first half.
Yeah.
You should bring the rain. You should throw your whole offensive playbook and just keep scoring, which that's what Dallas kept doing last night against it was the 32nd ranked running defense in the league. I get that. I mean, they're not world beaters. I'm not we're gonna make it to the Super Bowl. No, I'm not screaming that at all. But they did what they were supposed to do. The Chargers should have done what they were supposed to do, and they didn't. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Tom Brady's not coming back because he ain't got to worry about Giselle anymore.
Which is why he would come back.
I mean, he is coming back. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. He is coming back because he doesn't have to worry about Giselle anymore.
Listen.
Dumb move.
All I gotta say, if he comes back and we see him getting traded or something, and he ends up being a secondary to Mitch Trubisky, I'm taking the GOAT moniker off.
Listen,
no, he's not coming back to Tampa. It's going to be either probably the Jets or the Raiders. That's what I'm thinking. The Raiders would be a good fit. Why not? Who else would? What other team would be a good fit? Because think about it, the Raiders played a lot of games.
Retirement home.
They played a lot of games close. He doesn't care. He just wants to play. It's warm out there. He's got good receivers. He's got a really good running back. The O-line isn't terrible.
I think Josh might be gone this year, if I'm correct.
Josh Jacobs.
If they don't sign him.
I think Josh may be opting out.
Yeah, if they don't sign him.
If they keep Devontae and Josh Jacobs and that tight end Weller that they have.
Listen, they've got the bones. They've got the bones. Yeah, they've got the bones for a great. You slide in just above average quarterback.
Yes, that's
make some things happen.
Yes,
but when have the Raiders ever made a conscious decision?
Never.
Oh, we have a solid team. Oh crap! Let's get rid of some people quick.
Yeah, who was the defensive end that was it? Khalil Mack that went to Chicago.
Yep.
They got rid of him for like 3 bags of peanuts and a half-eaten Skittle or something like that.
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Some chewed bubble gum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that all you got? Yeah, we'll take it. So, yeah, we should never put faith in people to do the GMs to do what's in the best interest of their teams.
Of course not.
So, I personally hope Tom takes this as a swan song and just says, you know what, let me just go ahead and bow out gracefully.
He's not going to. He's not. He's got too much pride to go out this way. Too much.
He should. No GOAT ever goes out on top. They don't know how to do it. It doesn't even feel right.
Peyton Manning did.
Okay, I wouldn't.
Do we consider him a GOAT, though?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if I'd put him in that status. He's
elite.
He's definitely elite. He's definitely elite. And if that's the case, there are a lot of them that I would say have said, you know what, this is good. I'm good. We're going to go ahead and step down, and they did so successfully. But many of them, they just can't. It does not compute. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Rice didn't. Brett Favre didn't. Montana didn't. None of them.
They don't know how to do it. Right. It just doesn't make sense.
Jordan didn't. No, they don't know how to do it.
No, until my body literally shows me that I can't do what I could do.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I did I did appreciate about Kobe. Now, to me, Kobe did it the way you're supposed to do it. What am I missing?
Finish on top. They were terrible.
No. Kobe was great. Kobe's team was horrible.
Facts.
Yeah, yes or yes.
I can't
Facts.
deny that. Yes.
Okay,
Facts.
so
can't deny
instead
that,
of
yes.
being traded, instead of
Right.
doing all that, the old lion thing, he said, "You know
Right.
what? Let's go out big.
Right. And he
We're
did.
gonna
How many
yes,
points
we're
he
gonna
had?
do one last lap
That
around
last
the
game?
world."
60
Plus,
something?
his body technically was starting to give out on
He
him.
was
It
starting
was.
to give out.
It
Technically.
was.
So
It was.
he was
Yes.
like, "You know
But
what? It's time to
Yeah.
transition." But the other thing with Kobe, though, and a lot of them, the elites, to me, they're already thinking what's next. Whereas the goats, they literally cannot see anything else.
Well, the quarterback position, the NFL has prolonged Tom Brady's career
oh yeah, easily.
because you can't hardly do anything to a quarterback nowadays.
Right.
And I don't know, they didn't catch it. Tom Brady tried to trip somebody up. They didn't call a flag on it. I mean, he literally slid like he was a baseball player. It was like
Mm-hmm.
nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, really? You're not going to call a flag on that? But you like graze his arm and he's screaming. Yeah. So, yeah, the NFL has prolonged his career for sure, and he knows that. He knows that anytime somebody touches him or hits him, that there very well may be a flag. There's a greater chance of him getting a flag than anybody else. I mean, they can blow up Lamar Jackson and they don't care, but you blow up Brady, flag. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so, but
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that's the NFL's fault.
You say what now?
That's the NFL's fault. So
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So has anybody checked on the guy that bought the final ball for $500,000? Is he still around?
I think they gave him his money back.
Did they
If
give him
I'm
his
not-
money back?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they gave him his money back. Yeah.
I'd have immediately had on there no refunds. You just got to go deal with that in therapy, sir. You should have known it was Tom Brady. You
Okay.
should have known it was Tom Brady.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, he was going to file some type of lawsuit or something.
And so they
I
just
don't
gave him the money back.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but
Yeah, I'm like,
bro,
he
that's,
wanted-
that's your fault. I mean,
Tom can do what he wants to do. He can wait
Right.
5 years and come back and play
exactly.
if anybody would take him. But I'm just saying,
Very
you
true.
can't. Yeah, you can't be mad at that because you got caught up in the nostalgia and have money. Yeah, fooling his money or soon what?
Party.
Speaking of retiring and coming back, I really thought Homeboy in the show was an idiot. I'm like, what are you doing? You can't do that, bro.
Best
How long
man.
you been in retirement, Lance? I'm like, Lance, come on, buddy. Seriously? I'm like, this is not going to end well.
No.
But they did the right thing, though. They did the right thing.
All right. So since you brought it up, we're going to talk about the best man, the final chapters, which I'll just say this first of all, I completely enjoyed it. You know how you have some movies that you're like, as a movie, it stands alone well, but when they have sequels, you're like, okay, that's a good story to continue.
You won't.
And
Yeah.
so the best man final chapters continued that story well to the
Did.
point that people are like, hey, can we make this like a every other year type of thing? Can we keep, because you love the characters, right?
Yes, we do.
So lots of things happen in that, and I think I love the way that they did it because it got into so much more than what they could have gotten to in a movie. But one of the questions that we kind of talked about first in our household was, who's the villain in Best Man Final Chapters?
I know
The
who
villain.
I know who I think the villain is, but I'll save mine for last.
That's layered. I don't know how you pick one because of all the storylines. I mean,
Yeah.
there's an antagonist popping up literally every episode. So yeah, that's I want to hold mine too, but because I'm like, okay, so are we talking about the relationship with Lance and LJ? Are we talking about Shelby and Quentin? Are we talking about
Right.
what's the daughter's name? Shelby and Quentin's daughter. And granddad. Are we talking? I mean, there's a
There's
whole
a
lot.
lot. There's a lot.
So yeah, and that's just
Well,
a few that I'm remembering at the moment.
well, I'm going to throw out the overarching villain, actually in the entire series. I'm going to lay at the feet of Harper.
Okay.
Tay
Okay.
Diggs.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't think that's hard to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because
Why so?
in the first one, you have basically he's written a story about his friends, of course. But one, the fact that there's bro code. I don't care what happens. There's bro code, and the whole thing that kicks off the conflict between him and Lance is Lance finds out, oh, you slept with my girl, my wife, my fiance, basically.
Fiance, right.
Even though Lance was doing his dirt, broke the bro code there. 2, he shows up in Best Man Holiday, shows up, and it's more about him getting back on track as a writer and writing the autobiography of Lance than really wanting to help tell his story until later on when he's like, okay, yeah, I need to help tell my friend's story. His initial motivation was more selfish than towards his friend. And then now you have in Best Man Final Chapters. Now, was his wife wrong in some ways? Absolutely. But again, he lost track of his marriage and was putting everything around himself and didn't help his wife accomplish her goals. So in my opinion, Harper is the overarching villain throughout the entire series.
Now, as far as that third piece of him being the villain in the final chapters, they didn't unveil a lot of him not supporting her until the very end. They showed her wandering eye, her thinking about somebody else before they even really showed that he wasn't really there for her. So that was a little deceiving for me because at first I'm like, oh, she's the villain, hands down. I'm like, what is she doing? I mean, she's looking at this other. I'm like, I'm not about that at all. Then they disclose the true relationship between the two. Him not making the phone calls, him not setting up things he said he was going to set up, taking care of his business, not taking care of her business, and the things that she needs. And so it makes complete sense. So they held a little bit back as far as their relationship and him not being there the way he should be until the very end when all of that climax. So
Interesting. I actually I picked that up on the first time when she was basically finding herself exploring on the island. Like she's walking around, she's experiencing food. It's like you could tell I'm starving for something.
right, but it wasn't I didn't see it as it being because of him. I saw it because of her where she is right now with her cooking, with her business, but this is more of a freeing opportunity for her to be one with a culture. That's the way it was depicted for me. It had nothing to do with the relationship between her and Harper. I saw it as her connecting with her culture, her people, and being one with that community, which is what she started to do there. And then, of course, she eventually moved. I didn't see it depicted as it being anything with Harper at that point.
Well, the only reason why I would say that is because to me, he was constantly clueless. If you think about it, they weren't having arguments,
right?
But they were having these conversations of these almost like these check-in moments, right? These check-in moments, and then they finally build it up. Even in the first 3 episodes, they finally build it up to where they have to have this come to Jesus meeting about the brownstone, and there has to be this major compromise. And she's like, I don't. She originally said, "I don't want that. That's not something that." And he never catches her heart. He never catches her throughout the whole thing. And then they have this massive blow up. So to me, it was like, they kept serving us and serving us and serving us until finally it was just made extremely obvious. Dude, you are the most selfish, self-centered dude that we love. That we absolutely love. Yeah. How dare you be the main character?
Right.
It's like,
and he is the main character. Regardless of what anybody says, he is the main character for this universe.
Hmm.
He is for the universe of the best man. He's the main. He's the centerpiece. He's the main character.
Right.
And it's
Everything
like,
revolves around him in some respects.
yeah,
Mhm.
well, yeah, the story
Well,
is his story
so
about them
think about it.
Mhm.
Everything revolves around
around him.
him.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
his character, everything
Everything.
revolves around him.
Now
Yep.
Makes sense.
the to me the sadder part was that, and I don't know if you noticed this with him as well. It's like everybody else was getting more healthy as he
Yes,
was getting worse.
he was getting worse.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
y'all are really trying to create this contrast where once this is said and done, everybody really knows who Harper is, and now
right.
you got to make a decision. You
Even
know,
Jordan was getting healthier. I mean, it was all
Yeah.
of them. Yeah,
all of
Yeah.
them, all of them were making healthier choices than they
all
had
of them.
before. All of them, and so it's like,
Yeah.
okay, but Harper, however, at the end of the day, I want what I want,
Hmm.
and I don't care what you want. I want what I want. And even though he comes to the final conclusion, he winds up being alone as a result of his desires and choices, but he still winds up being loved by everybody, even though
Yeah. Well, the last scene for me with all of them coming to him, I thought that was amazing because
I love that scene.
that yelled and screamed community for me.
Yes.
That I absolutely loved. Even though he was in the wrong, even though he created this mess, and a lot of it falls on his. Now they both have blame, but a lot of it falls on his shoulders. And so for them to be there like that, that was probably one of my favorite scenes, to be honest.
he
And
could have went to Ghana.
did you see the deck of cards that appeared at Lance's feet at the end?
No,
And
A lot
his
of people
feet.
missed it. Yes. So there's because
at the couch
earlier, no, when they're sitting at the table playing spades,
Uh-huh.
you see a deck at his feet
Okay.
at the very last portion.
Okay, now I need
And
to go back.
it's just a throwback to earlier when they accused him of having another deck of cards when they were playing.
Yeah, completely
I
missed
didn't
that.
catch that. I didn't catch that.
Completely missed
Kevin
that.
with them eagle eyes, man.
Man,
Was that
they
you
don't
or was
play.
that Tarsha?
No, that was me.
Okay.
That was me. So, but yeah, I mean,
yeah, go ahead. No,
Yeah.
go ahead.
no, I'm just saying I love that scene. To me, that scene, but even the fact that there was no words spoken as they're all there, just like they just walked into his house. Somebody's working on the drink, somebody's working on the food, somebody's getting the table, the chair set up.
Yeah,
It was like that's how things should be. When one brother's going through it,
That's right.
the other brothers just show up
love
and
that
make it
scene.
happen. Yeah.
I love that scene. I think the reason it hit me because I lived that, man. It was literally the year Amy passed.
Mm.
And I got a call and Aaron said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Nothing right now." He says, "Hey, we're coming over." I'm like, "All right." They brought food. They said, "Boy, I'm woo!"
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the
Yeah,
part
they,
that got me. Go ahead. I'm
yeah.
sorry, bro.
Yeah. They somebody put in a movie. They brought the food, had it on the counter, and we just sat and we chilled. Sometimes we didn't say anything. Sometimes we laughed. We just sat. Dude, it was what I needed.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I don't want to go anywhere.
Mhm.
I didn't want to leave the house, and that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. And looking back, and I didn't think about that until I saw that moment.
Mm.
Wow.
Mhm.
And I was like, God, I said, God, I thank you that I had that in place because of all the things that we've talked about before. You have to do the work in order to have that in place. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
So yeah, that scene hit me hard because I lived that and I saw it. And it was deep for me.
One of the things that I liked about that scene, they came in, hey Harp.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah.
Hey Harp.
Yeah,
And he's just sitting there. They hadn't moved. Like,
right.
He's still watching TV.
They
He's
sit
out.
down, shuffle.
They're doing that shuffling. They're getting the food. They're getting the drinks together. They got their plates. They served each other. Got everything together.
Yes.
And then they sat down. They were about to deal. And Lance looks at him and says, Harp, we need a fourth.
Right.
They didn't ask.
No.
Are you up to this? They didn't ask you. Harp, we need a fourth.
He was like, God dang it! All right, man.
Like, I can't leave y'all hanging like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Right.
He's like, I can't leave. And so he gets up, he goes over there, you know, and they play the game, and they show the strength of that
Yes.
bond.
Yes.
That's the other thing I have to say that I appreciate about that franchise is they showed a level of humanity
They did.
that we don't have to throw people away just because they do really dumb stuff.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, that these relationships are valuable from start to end, and I appreciate. I felt like that was probably the overarching thing is like, listen, we can do good or we can do bad, but we gonna do.
Yeah.
We gonna do with each
We're
other,
gonna
you
do.
know.
We're gonna do exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the thing that I probably appreciated more out of this than anything. I still have some questions about Harper and Lord, I can't remember these names to save my life. I don't know why I get on here.
Jordan.
Jordan, thank you.
Well, you know what? But Kia and I were talking about it. I'm so glad that it ended without them hooking up.
Yes.
Are we sure
like
they
that.
didn't?
Okay.
Are we sure
with them
they
not
didn't?
with them not having a relationship? I'll put it to you that way. We're not sure if they did or not that night. I don't think they did, but we don't know.
I was good with thinking that until they shot back to him. They did. I
Right.
don't know if you caught that real quick shot.
Oh, it was real quick.
It was a real quick shot, you know, and then they moved off, and it's like, okay, but they didn't show that broke,
Right.
and so you're like left wondering, like, oh, wait, and now he won't talk about it.
Mm-mm.
That was one of like the straws that broke the camel's back with them. You're like,
Right.
you know, you're not being transparent. Where were you? Well, you. I mean, we went. You know,
we knew what it would look like.
Right.
bro. You the one coming in at 10 o'clock in the morning. You know, we understand it was your night, but hello, and your boy was in the hospital, but something is off when your wife has to ask you, where have you been the next morning. I don't care. I don't care what awards you got.
Right.
Very
And
Doesn't matter.
and who was there and who wasn't there? How come I don't know?
How come we don't know? Well, so and so was there. So and so was over here. So and so. So that just leaves.
So where were you?
Right.
So who was there?
Right.
See what had happened.
When that happens.
Good point.
Now, the only reason why I even bring that up is because really isn't that big a deal. That's just drama, for drama's sake to me. Except for the fact that at the end, Jordan says, "I can't be a safe place to land," and I'm sitting here thinking, so what were you trying to be before?
The straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, help me understand.
Pretty much.
I get it. It's not ideal, but it's not like y'all don't have history.
Right.
Right.
But now you need at least a couple of years.
Right.
What? So that's the only thing that threw me off with that. I was like, okay, I don't know who wrote that, but y'all tried to wrap that part up really quick.
They did.
And leave mystery. And to me, you failed. You failed miserably.
Yeah. Now, what about the transformation? Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Look at that. I was going to say something about transformations. Go ahead. You go.
The transformation of merch.
But that's all I was just scared. So my question was going to be, what was your favorite transformation? Because everybody was getting healthy except for
Harper.
Everybody was getting healthy. I was going to ask the question, what was y'all's favorite transformation as far as everybody getting right? That's the word for merch. Because it was layered. It was what drove him to start to become healthy, which is what I think is a bigger and a deeper topic. What drove him to that is everyday life for a lot of us. And I think it showed that inner rage that happens even with a mild-mannered person as merch, and how that dealing with it over and over and over again to where it becomes unnatural for you. You don't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
That right there alone, that transformation, but what sparked it, I thought telling that story was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, because merch I mean, if we look at Murch when the first movie,
Oh.
Murch was the nerdy, wimpy guy
Yes.
being taken advantage of by Shelby, just kind of hold my purse kind of a guy, right?
Can't hold his own. And then
Right.
the movie,
Yeah.
when it was depicted in the movie, oh,
They
that
took
he
it.
felt
They
some
went
kind of
right.
They
way.
took it a
left
whole nother level.
Oh yeah.
That messed him. That sent him even further after that incident.
Well, he wouldn't even watch it.
Yeah.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
To me, that was a statement all by itself. Like, listen, I can love you, but I don't have to put up with everything. I just don't.
Right.
I just don't.
Right.
You can do what you want to with it.
Right.
Well, just come, man. You just need to come. You need to come support your boy. That's all I've been doing. That's all I've been doing is supporting him.
The whole time.
So Merch found a backbone. He definitely found a backbone.
Oh, we found one. It was.
I wish, this is just me, I wish they would have let him confront the professor.
Oof.
That might have caught him a case.
It would have, bro, because that probably would be something they didn't want to promote.
Right.
Which was because
you can remember they're in control of how that dialogue goes. They're in control of how that dialogue goes. That doesn't have to go to the point where he's in jail. He doesn't have to sock the guy in his mouth, even though he deserved it. All right.
This is Hollywood.
But the reality.
This is Hollywood.
Okay. Well, let's please remember that Merch is almost 50 as an MMA fighter. Let's stop. Okay. So let's stop. We're celebrating him, and I'm good with it. Okay, but let's okay. Talking about, well, it's Hollywood. Okay.
And how old is Tyson?
Tyson was a career fighter. Merch was trying to blow off steam.
You let him punch you?
Merch just walked into this.
Merch just discovered this.
Now, Merch could take out Quentin. I believe Merch could handle his boys.
Well, that's because Quentin is either high or drunk. So I mean, he
True.
can take him out.
And Quentin got a heart problem now. So I get that.
That was real.
But
there's so much real stuff in this one, man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the whole thing. But yeah.
So can we touch that too?
We got time.
We got time. So Merch is, but I think that the reason that they could not show that was because with the trajectory that Merch was on, I don't know that it would have been believable that he just had a face-to-face conversation and just was, gentle about it or whatever. I think that the trajectory, because Merch got to the point in some respects where it was like he almost could have gone off on anyone.
Yes.
I get that.
Because his fuse was short.
I get that. But with all of the healthy Black expression that you were getting through all of these characters, and as progressive of the relationship dynamics as they were going, all right, they're trying to expand the whole Black consciousness with LJ and all of that.
Right.
To have a Black man defend a Black woman in a real sense that needed defending in a real situation, there's no way in the world that someone's going to do that to my wife and he's not going to see me.
Right.
There's no way in the world, in reality, that something like that's going to happen and she's going to talk me down. Are you kidding me?
True.
Now, you can either stay here or you can go with. But I'm going to talk to him. We finna handle this. There's no way. And that's the only thing. She got a chance to talk him down. And to me, that's what took the steam off of everything that we were seeing. He didn't have to lose it by confronting that man. But that needed to be confronted.
But if we think about the character of Merch, though, he's always been able to be talked down. And now this is his wife talking to him. And this is her career. So that Merch is still in there. Now he's just expressing himself in a way to get that rage and that anger on something that's been pent up for a long time. But that Merch that we've grown to love and know, he's still there. He didn't go anywhere. So I can still see that Merch is able to be talked down from that because of who he is, what his character has been, and then the love and concern that he has for his wife, the way that he came to her defense before, even though they had issues. That's just Merch. So I can see her
being able to talk him down. I can see that. That feels realistic to me because it's merch. Now, Lance, oh no. Quentin, oh no. You're not talking them down. Merch, you can talk down. That feels kind of. Now, I'm not saying you, Darian, or me, or Kev, or anybody else, but we're gonna have the conversation with somebody. And it's gonna be
the very minimum a conversation.
Y'all to meet me at longitude 43.926 and latitude 63.21 in about 17 minutes and 38 seconds.
We're black.
Just come.
We're black. We won't ask.
Shoot. Corey, if I call up Corey, hey, I need you here in about 10 minutes. Click. He's not even going to say okay.
Bet.
He's just hanging up and he's exactly.
And it's on site. Point them out. That's all you do. Point them out.
Hey, I need you in the hedges.
Just say it, man. Some of this stuff
on the east side.
Listen.
The other reason why I wish they'd kind of cut merch loose on that just a little bit, and shown that is because they let Harper and Robin go at it to the point where they're cussing each other out.
And that was so it was so uncomfortable, but it was done so well because any real situation like that is going to be uncomfortable.
And I get it. And I get it. But if you're gonna let that portray out the black man and the black woman, forgive me, I'm just kind of where my head is at.
I hear you.
If you're gonna go there, then you could have countered that with the mouse of the group stepping up for the woman.
I get that.
And that's to me, it's like, okay, all of this black progression, don't. So, and that's all.
Here's the thing: you saw. I get what you're saying, but there was still so much of that progression that was happening around that even though that was ugly and we didn't see what you wanted to see with merch, we still saw it with Quentin. I mean, we saw it with what's her name, Shelby. I mean, LJ, Lance. There was a lot of that there. That it would have good to see this. If we had this with this couple, now have this couple stick. I mean, there was a lot of that we saw that we would want to see in our communities.
We saw a lot of reconciliation.
Quentin and Shelby that we don't normally see. We say, we just let him eat what he wants to eat. He wants to live his life. No, that's not what she wanted to do. And then Quentin finally wised up and said, okay, you know what? This is what I need to do. And so we don't see a lot of that. So I get what you're saying, but
to me, that's two different categories. Because we did see a lot of reconciliation.
Saying goodness. I'm lumping goodness with non-goodness. But I see what you're saying. You wanted something to be the opposite, the antithesis of that. We've got that with this couple, so now
they're coming together. They're coming together. Right. The father-child dynamic coming together. The husband-wife dynamic coming together. We see all of that stuff, but what we didn't see was protection. I never saw at any point where there was any type of protection. And yes, I'm reaching. I get it.
No, but I got you.
I got you.
We don't see that depicted on screen, so I get that. I get it,
and that's all. It's like if y'all gonna really wrap this up and tie this up in a nice little neat bow to where we can say, well, hey, they're so and so now, and they're so and so. Lance is engaged to be married. He's accepting,
with his fast self. I was not happy. He and I both were not happy. I was like, why do we have to go to such extremes? Seriously? I get it. But go ahead.
No. Here's the thing. And forgive me. I don't mean to overstep if I am. Forgive me. But it would be to me. I definitely respect your opinion because of what you've experienced. Mm-hmm. You can look at Lance and go, bro, time out.
I mean, here's the thing. I get it. I had empathy for him. Even when I didn't like it, I still had empathy because I can understand how he would be.
He could be pushed.
I get it from a personal level.
But if you think, well, I hear that. but if you think about the character of Lance from the very beginning,
Mhm.
Lance was a hoe from the beginning.
Yes, he was.
So
Yes, he was.
the only thing that I forgot his wife's name in the show, but his ex,
I
I
forgot.
can't remember her name either. Mia.
but yeah,
Mia,
Mia,
there we
yes. The only thing that Mia did was she gave him a place, and she was a person that kind of, in some respects, like it or not, she kind of put a band-aid on who Lance was
go. Right.
while they were together.
Right.
And then once that was gone,
Yeah,
his way of coping was to go back to what he knew.
exactly.
So what he knew
Which is
was to
true.
be in them streets.
Which is true. And he was in the streets.
All the way in them streets.
Listen, he was in the streets, in
He
the
was
alleys.
pool. He was on the beach,
Listen.
butt naked. I'm like,
I apologize. I thought this was clothing optional.
in
Bruh.
in the limo. I'm like, bruh.
And the crazy thing is, everybody knew exactly what was going on, and
Mhm.
and just we're gonna let Lance be Lance. You
Yeah.
know, wildness,
It was
definitely,
wild. Yeah.
definitely.
And then the character that really, in some respects, in the first movie was almost like a third level, fourth level character, Shelby,
Yeah.
now has a major role and has a major piece to play, right? I think in
She
some
did.
respects, her, if we go back to the first one, it was almost like, oh, she's somebody we know from school, but she wasn't close.
Right.
But then as the movies went on and as the show went on, she is more involved. She's more of a friend. And so I
In
think
the second
that
movie, they showed her
she
humanity.
grew.
Yeah.
Yes.
They started showing her humanity in the second movie. For sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then by the third one, you're like, okay, she's fully blown into a character that now you're rooting for her. Because at first when you
Yes.
met her, you're like, you couldn't stand her.
Oh, she can kick rocks for all I care. Yeah.
I do love the fact that even though they allowed her character to grow through all of these and expand, she remained
She remained the same.
Shelby.
She did.
Mhm. Mhm.
She did.
Mhm.
And everything in me was like, that's you. That's really you. You ain't acting.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's too consistent. You're too consistent.
Typecasting. Yes.
Mhm.
This is all too real.
Yeah, you a little too consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, because I can see her on a housewife show.
Mhm.
I mean, I can see that being real. I mean, that's
Yep.
how well she played that
Just
character,
messy.
or how well they typecasted her. Either one.
Yeah.
Either one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good chance when they did casting, she was the first one in. It's like, oh, we got her. We got
Oh, yeah.
Shelby.
Oh,
Next,
hands down.
you're good. No,
Mhm.
no worries.
Mhm.
They probably looked outside. If you're here for Shelby, it's filled. Thank you.
If you're reading for the role of Shelby, you all can leave now.
You all can leave now. We thank you. Thank you for
at the
coming.
front desk, and we'll see you all again. Thank you.
Please,
Mhm.
please leave your bios and your headshots. But thank you.
And you're walking, and you're walking.
Because that was filled. Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
Quick.
definitely.
So, but all in all, again, great ending to what it's a classic Black movie, right? So we got a few minutes.
We in
What
essence
other-
got 4 movies. You realize that, right?
Say what now?
We in essence got 4 movies.
Yes.
Because they were all they were an hour long, pretty much. We had 8
Yes.
episodes.
Mhm.
So yeah,
And that's why I say it was fitting, and I think I like the way that they did it, because it did give us time to re-engage with characters that we haven't seen in it's been almost 10 years, I think.
was it 2014?
Yeah, so it's been a few years since
13,
the last one.
something like it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it gives us a chance to reconnect with them, but then also to, in some respects, I think for a lot of folks, it was good closure.
It was I thought it was great closure. Yes.
Yeah.
Because
So-
after Best Man Holiday, I was wanting more. I'm like, because the way they ended it, I'm like, they had the
Yeah.
baby. Q says, I'm getting married. Like, what? To who? Everybody's
Right.
like, oh, it's Shelby. I'm like, okay, that's too obvious. It's not going to be Shelby. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, because I know that there was at one point right after that they were talking about doing another one, but then just a lot of different things happened with different projects and everything, so they
Right.
kind of pushed it back, and then they were like, you know what, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. So
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So the question is, as we got a little time left, what other movies or franchises do you think that need to get, just for lack of a better term, the best man final chapters treatment?
Why did I get married?
Really?
Yeah, there's no closure there for me with that one. The way that we talked about it before, the way that one ended. Why did I get married too? Yeah,
Well,
I think
didn't they try to spin that into a television show with
Yes, they did.
they
Michael
did.
White?
With
Michael White and what's her name?
Oh, they chose Michael White.
Angela.
They chose the wrong one then.
Well, that is
But
who,
yeah,
who I'm thinking of, isn't it?
yes,
Michael Jai White.
because
Yeah,
Michael Jai White. Yeah.
yeah. I
trying to
thought
see what was
they tried to spin that into a show, and it tanked. Like,
Well, you have to bring everybody back. You just can't have just the
Right.
two. You got if you're
I
gonna
get it.
do that, you need everybody.
they were, I guess, because they were the most dramatic of the couples. You know,
Right.
always fighting,
They
always
were,
issues, all
but you
that
can
stuff.
only take them in doses, though, man. I mean, it was.
You are not lying.
I mean, seriously, I'm like, oh my god.
So I was like, "There's no way in the world you can watch an entire
Bro,
entire
there is no
series."
way. I
'Cause-
plucked my eyes out. There's no way I'm
the-
doing that, man.
there were the moments like in the first one, in the table in the table scene where
Yeah.
they're kind of going around, everybody's reading each other, and her and him kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were great in moments. Friday is another one. Well,
Ooh. That's been a long time now.
with Friday, I think that they're just due for another closure as far as another Friday. I think last Friday was the one that was going to be done, but I think that they held off on that just because they were planning to do it. But then when John Witherspoon passed away, they said, "Well, we'll kind of leave that where it is." Is the last I heard.
As long as they don't try to do a Friday remake like you're doing with House Party.
Yet another thing that LeBron James is ruining.
It ain't his fault. It is not his
He's
fault.
producing it.
It's his show.
Oh,
He's producing it.
Oh,
Yes.
forget what I
So
just
once
said.
again,
Never mind. My
Another
bad.
thing that LeBron James
Scratch
is ruining.
what I just said.
Oh man. Real quick, Tasha Smith, Michael Jai White. They actually did, the show was For Better or Worse, and they actually had 6 seasons.
But was it the same characters?
No.
Oh, okay. Then no. Then they didn't try to do a TV show based on How Did I Get Married? Why did I get
No,
married?
it was based upon Marcus and Angela. So they basically took their characters
And made a
and moved
show
them
out of
into-
it.
Oh, that's what I
That's
said.
what I'm
Was
saying.
it their characters?
Oh,
You
my
said
bad.
no.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Dang.
And
But they had no
6 seasons.
interaction
I
with
didn't
the
know
rest
that.
of
But it doesn't
Yeah.
mean it still can't be done. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean it can't be done.
Oh no, I think the whole movie cast, yeah, they could
Yeah.
Where are they now? And,
Now,
where are they going? Yeah.
Being able to
Definitely.
get all of them jobs. I know Jill Scott has her own show now with the First Wives Club. So I
Mhm.
know that she's the main character in that one. So I don't know. I don't know what Janet's doing. I have no idea what
She's on
doing.
tour.
Yeah.
With who?
Janet.
Just herself? Woo! Janet! I already told Kia.
Janet, man, and she's hovering around the state of Oklahoma. She's not coming through.
Why would I wouldn't come to the state of Oklahoma either?
Come on, man. She can do Oklahoma City.
Actually, I
Okay,
think she's
you
gonna
live there.
be here.
Never mind.
Tulsa. I would say Tulsa before Oklahoma City.
No.
Yeah, she's coming here
And
with
the
Ludacris.
BOK is a better venue than the Chesapeake.
But not a bigger venue.
That's true.
Better, yes. Bigger, no. No, she would need to do, if she's coming to Oklahoma City, she'd have to do
I
Chesapeake.
would say she would do outdoor. If she come to Oklahoma City, do outdoor.
Who?
Huh?
Well, she's coming here. She's right now touring with Ludacris.
That's what I said. With who? You said Janet.
Yeah.
It's Janet. I knew Janet.
It's
she's
Janet
coming to
headlining. I'm sorry, my bad. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. I said with who? Good Lord, boy, keep up. Janet Jackson. She ain't a brother. She ain't going out there on us. She ain't Prince.
No, she ain't Prince. She ain't her brother. That's for sure. You are right with that.
Let's put on a good show though.
Yes, she does.
Which I
She
do
still
plan
got
on
her
seeing
moves?
this year.
Still dance? Can she still dance like she did before?
Doesn't matter.
It's Janet.
Stand there.
Asking. I'm
Sit
not
there.
saying it mattered. I'm just
Miss Jackson.
asking.
Miss Jackson, if you're Darian.
Mhm.
Just saying. Let me chill before I get emails. Brother,
No,
minister.
trust me, y'all don't understand. It would be Darian and myself on that front row. Y'all don't get it. You all do not
Just
understand.
grabbing each other like, oh my God. Now, who said that? That's an odd lineup. Because I agree, it's a very odd lineup.
It
Yes.
is not lineup. Yes.
Very odd lineup. But there's someone else that's going too. Was it Lettucey?
Let me see.
Don't. Never mind. Don't do that because I do this every show. I pull stuff out and you're like, where did you get that from, sir? It's not even real. Did you dream that?
Stop. Never mind.
I'm sorry. I'm learning to catch myself now. I'm learning to stop.
You don't care to find it in like 3.2 seconds.
Yeah,
You know
no.
what it is?
All it tells me is Janet with Ludacris. It doesn't tell me anybody else.
So yeah.
So
I know a lot of artists. What they're doing is the cities that they go in, they get a smaller group, they get a local group to open up for them, so they're not really on the ticket. And
Yeah, it's just Luda.
Luda
That is a weird.
yeah, it's a little strange one.
move. Oh, never mind. Now I gotta watch Bad Boys 2. Now I gotta watch Bad Boys 2 just because.
Hilarious. Yeah, man. So yeah, Janet is so she's coming to Phoenix, but she's hovering around. She's gonna be in Dallas. She's gonna be Kansas City, St. Louis.
I'll drive to Kansas City before I drive to Dallas. Them tickets in Dallas always are high, bro. Always high.
Yeah, I checked them out. I was the same thing with Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar in Oklahoma City was, I think, good seats were like 250, and in Dallas they were 1,500.
The only rapper to win a Pulitzer. I mean, yeah, he's got chops, bro.
Yeah. Speaking of, if you got Prime, they got one of his shows on there.
Which one?
I'm not sure which show, but they got a live thing, and he does a show. By the way, he does not just stand there with tracks.
Right.
You are not gonna have me paying hundreds of dollars, and you don't even have a live DJ.
Right.
Nah, we good, man.
Nah,
We good.
We good.
Mhm.
We good.
All right.
That
So
goes for the Christian artists too.
Yeah, two different genres for sure.
two genres. Yeah, I'm in AZ branding. I'm in Phoenix.
So yeah.
And he reminds us every chance he can get, branding. Every chance.
With anything weather related.
Anything.
As I've said, I'm here on assignment. If your God-given assignment is not where you are, or if you can work from home, if you will, with God, you have options.
these comments come at you like prison shake.
Bro, I'm going on God's bulletin board immediately. Do you have remote work?
Hey, listen.
Where's that one ad at?
Do
Where's
you
that
have remote
classified section?
work?
Right.
Because I'm applying for that job.
I'm looking at Leviticus. No, it ain't in there. Let me see. First Thessalonians. No, it ain't in there. Where's this at? Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely from an assignment here. So, all right, and then the last show, the other show that just really quick that I think I actually saw that we're going to get another segment on is The Wood. Do y'all remember The Wood?
Really? Yeah.
I think the last I
Another
saw that there
movie
is
or
in
a TV
development.
show?
They're going to do a TV show on Showtime. Is what I remember reading not too long ago.
Okay.
So,
When did you see that?
I saw that late last year, or I saw it last year sometime. I know that for sure.
Did it ever come out? Because it's saying it was supposed to come out a year ago.
No, but I think it got pushed back because of COVID and stuff. I'm not sure.
Wow.
No.
Yeah,
I may have to look at it again.
It looks like it's
but-
casted and shot. So interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
They have to
though?
look as it says The Wood. They actually, yeah, I'm looking at it. It says now
Oh,
February of last year, which it hasn't come out. I don't know, but I hope that's one that I hope comes back out too, because that was
Well,
a
it says
classic
TV
movie.
series. Yeah, it says TV
Yeah.
series. Yeah.
Yeah, they were supposed to do it as a TV series for Showtime. So, all right, well, look, that's it for this episode. We're going to wrap it up, and we will see you all next Tuesday. Have a great one. Be blessed. And Tom Brady, please just go ahead and call it quits.
Looking like a bag of busted chips.